The Deputy King, His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, chaired the weekly cabinet meeting at Qibiyya Palace. The cabinet congratulated His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa on the occasion of the upcoming anniversary of the Prophet Muhammad's date of birth, wishing Bahrain and the Arab and Islamic nations continued progress and prosperity. The cabinet followed up on the implementation of His Royal Highness's directives for Parent Induction Day across public schools to brief parents and guardians on the new academic year, wishing students, teachers and administrators further success. Marking the International Day of Charity, the cabinet affirmed its support for initiatives that promote and strengthen the culture of charity within communities. The cabinet then approved the following: a memorandum submitted by the Government Executive Committee regarding a package of priority draft laws that fall within the framework of development needs benefiting Bahraini citizens. A memorandum submitted by the Ministerial Committee for Legal and Legislative Affairs regarding the draft law approving an agreement between Bahrain and the International Dates Council regarding a headquarters in Bahrain. A memorandum submitted by the Minister of Municipalities Affairs and Agriculture regarding the expropriation of a number of properties for the public benefit to provide the necessary space for urban development. A memorandum submitted by the Minister of Cabinet Affairs and Chairman of the Board of Directors of the Education and Training Quality Authority regarding the Education and Training System Report for the 2024-2025 academic year. A memorandum submitted by the Minister of Cabinet Affairs and Chairman of the Board of Directors of the Education and Training Quality Authority regarding the proposed general framework for reviewing the performance of special education institutions. And a memorandum submitted by the Ministerial Committee for Legal and Legislative Affairs regarding the government's response to a draft law and a number of proposals submitted by the Representatives Council. The Cabinet then noted the following ministerial reports: the outcomes of Bahrain's participation in the ministerial meeting of the 5th session of the Intergovernmental Negotiating Committee to develop an international legally binding instrument on plastic pollution, including the marine environment. The outcomes of Bahrain's participation in the International Petrochemical Exhibition Kazan Oil, Gas and Chemistry 2025. The outcomes of the Minister of Youth Affairs visit to Jordan, and the updates on planned external visits by Bahraini ministers and scheduled visits to Bahrain by foreign ministers in September 2025. The Deputy King, His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, met with the 10th intake of the Prime Minister's Fellowship Program at Qibiyya Palace. His Royal Highness highlighted the Kingdom's steadfast commitment to developing and upskilling the national workforce led by His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa. He affirmed that investing in Bahrainis is integral to the Kingdom's sustainable development and progress. He commended the 10th intake for their excellence and unwavering dedication to success and praised the success of the Prime Minister's Fellowship Program over the past decade, noting its valuable contributions to enhancing government performance through the dedicated efforts of its organizers. His Royal Highness also underscored the importance of the program's continued development, ensuring that it meets the Kingdom's aspiration and future goals. He highlighted the loyalty and commitment of the national workforce in advancing the kingdom's development and in shaping a brighter future for Bahrain. The members expressed their gratitude for His Royal Highness's commitment to the national workforce and empowering employees to contribute to the kingdom's development. They affirmed their dedication to utilizing the diverse skills and experiences gained through the program to support the kingdom's aspirations. The Minister of Cabinet Affairs, Hamad bin Faisal al-Malki, also attended the meeting. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Abdul Latif bin Rashid al-Zayani, attended the 165th session of the GCC Ministerial Council in Kuwait. The meeting was chaired by the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Kuwait and Chairman of the current session, Abdullah Ali Yahya, with the attendance of GCC Foreign Ministers and the GCC Secretary General Jassim Labdawi. The meeting discussed following up on the implementation of decisions by the GCC Supreme Council and the Ministerial Council, reviewing recommendations from ministerial and specialized committees on joint Gulf cooperation and reports from the General Secretariat on enhancing cooperation in various domains. The Ministerial Council also reviewed updates on negotiations for the GCC Free Trade Agreement with countries and international groups, as well as outcomes of joint meetings between the GCC and partner countries or blocs, all aimed at benefiting shared cooperation. Regional developments and their impact on regional security and stability were addressed, including efforts to stop the war in Gaza, in addition to issues related to maintaining regional security and stability. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Abdul Latif bin Rashid al-Zayani, participated in the second joint ministerial meeting of the strategic dialogue between the GCC and Japan. The meeting was chaired by the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Kuwait and Chairman of the current session, Abdullah Ali Yahya, with the attendance of the GCC Foreign Ministers, the GCC Secretary General Jassim Labdawi, while the Japanese side was chaired by the Japanese Minister of Foreign Affairs, Takeshi Iwaya. The meeting discussed ways to strengthen the historic relations between the GCC and Japan within the framework of the strategic partnership. They also reviewed the course of joint cooperation and the achievements made in meeting the aspirations and interests of both sides. It was agreed that the GCC General Secretariat would follow up on implementing the Joint Action Plan for 2024-2028, coordinating with member states and Japan. Prominent regional and international developments were discussed, in addition to ways to address the various challenges facing the region and the world, and to advance efforts to achieve comprehensive peace in the region for the benefit of all its peoples. The Minister of Housing and Urban Planning said that the preparation of land acquired during the previous phase in a number of areas included in the first phase of the development of Muharraq city is proceeding according to the schedule set for the implementation of the project. More in this report.
Given the exceptional cultural and historical heritage of the city of Muharraq and its special place in the hearts of all the people of Bahrain, His Majesty the King issued a royal order with the follow-up of the government headed by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister to develop the city of Muharraq with the aim of preserving the historical features of the city. The royal order was put into effect by drawing up an action plan to preserve the historical and cultural identity of the kingdom's buildings and cities, in particular the restoration of the Isa al-Kabir Palace and the well-known neighborhoods in the city of Muharraq. Among the outputs of the project during the previous phase was the development of general and detailed designs and plans for the implementation of the first phase of the development project for the city of Muharraq. This led to the acquisition of 239 properties in the designated development areas in order to effectively commence work on preparing the acquired sites and the implementation of construction and development works, which include the construction and renovation of 300 residential units. The development plan focuses on 5 areas, including preserving the historical identity of Muharraq, providing housing units that meet the aspirations of Bahraini families, preserving buildings of heritage value, increasing green spaces in the area, in addition to developing infrastructure services and public facilities. As part of efforts to involve citizens in the implementation plan for the project, the Ministry of Housing and Urban Planning began construction work on the Visitor Center, which is part of the first phase of the project. The center aims to inform visitors about the comprehensive plan for the Muharraq development project and the models of residential units that will be provided by the project.
The Minister of Industry and Commerce, Abdullah Fakhru, underscored Bahrain's strong backing for the manufacturing sector, highlighting its role as a cornerstone of the national economy. He highlighted the importance of continuing efforts to localize industries and replace imports with high-quality domestic products. The minister noted that Decision 63 of 2025 on the regulations for exempting industrial inputs from customs duties provides exemptions to industrial establishments if one of the following conditions is met. The inputs are not produced or available within Bahrain. They cannot be obtained according to standards adopted by industrial establishments. Local production is not feasible within a specified period, or the local cost exceeds the imported equivalent by more than 10%. He explained that these regulations represent a strategic step to enhance the competitiveness of the industrial sector, develop local content, and increase local added value. The minister added that developing economic and regulatory policies that support local content aligns with the objectives of the Industry Sector Strategy 2022-2026 and supports Bahrain Economic Vision 2030. The Middle East Summit of the International Association of Meetings and Conferences, the ICCA, concluded successfully at Exhibition World Bahrain with the participation of experts and specialists in the international meetings and conferences sector from across the Middle East and the world. More in this report. The ICCA Middle East Summit 2025 saw the participation of more than 100 experts and specialists, featuring panel discussions and specialized workshops that discussed the future of the meetings and conferences sector. The sessions focused on formulating innovative strategies to enhance the international competitiveness of destinations, opening up prospects for regional cooperation, and using artificial intelligence to improve marketing and event development.
We are here in this excellent infrastructure exhibition World Bahrain in Bahrain. We brought the ECA First Middle East Summit into Bahrain, primarily because Bahrain is growing as a regional destination phenomenally in business events and association meetings. Infrastructure like this, such a massive center, clearly showcases the vision and the leadership of the government and also the private sector, how much they're actively involved. So ECA to bring the entire ecosystem together, the industry together, it's very important. Bahrain is in a unique place with its diversified products. Bahrain can stand as one of the leading destinations in the region, and we see that it's happening in the last 10 years. And going forward, ECA will support Bahrain to get to the next stage.
The summit highlighted qualitative investments in the kingdom and innovative initiatives to support youth and women. The integration between business events and economic diversification strategies was also reviewed, highlighting the kingdom's efforts to strengthen its position as a leading destination for international events through innovation and sustainable services.
Having us here in Bahrain is a great opportunity. The whole region is actually growing very fast in terms of event businesses and also conferences and exhibition in general. Bahrain has the right infrastructure as we speak. We have one of the largest exhibition center in the region, plus you have a connectivity of the world coming to Bahrain. The GCC itself has been growing the last few months as well, and the last few years, as there's more venues exist, more events happening on the region. We have the right infrastructure to bring more visitors to the countries in the GCC. In Bahrain, we're going to be discussing many different things, including AI and the impact of AI in venues, and also discussing how can we increase the traffic and promote destinations in a better way.
Exhibition World Bahrain organized a comprehensive tour of its modern facilities and advanced digital services for participants. And before the summit concluded, an award ceremony was held, honoring industry leaders who have contributed to the development of business events at the regional and international levels, confirming Bahrain's distinguished position as a leading regional hub for business tourism. Tamkeen announced the launch of the Digital Enablement Program to support institutions in developing their businesses through the adoption of digital solutions and tools, thereby contributing to increasing their operational efficiency and productivity. The program includes two main tracks, with the first track allows enterprises to benefit from digital solutions, and the second track gives enterprises the freedom to choose the most suitable service provider to deliver digital solutions that align with their needs. The McLaren team, owned by Mumtalakat Holding Company, yesterday achieved another victory in the Formula One Dutch Grand Prix. McLaren's Australian driver Oscar Piastri took first place ahead of Dutch driver Max Verstappen of Red Bull, while Racing Point driver Ishaq Hajar finished third. This achievement reflects the strength of the team as one of Bahrain's most important global sporting investments and underscores Mumtalakat's commitment to supporting and developing international sport and establishing the kingdom's presence on the global sporting stage.